Every morning I think about, gee, I wonder what's going to happen today. Will I see somebody die again?
Sherry's daily transit rides over the past few years have been shocking, and her attempts to get assistance from Calgary Transit have left her wanting.
The gentleman was smoking crack on the train, and there was children 2 seats away from him. I called transit. I told him the car number. I told him the location and the direction we were going, and they never showed up.
It's the kind of situation Calgary Transit is trying to avoid with its new safety plan, which still needs budgetary approval later this month. According to data from the city, transit officers made over 900 arrests in the first 9 months of the year. And Calgary police have made 2,600 interactions with riders. More than 200 involved violent crimes.
On transit specifically, we have seen increased statistics that you'd see from crime and disorder and everything else, partly because we've had more officers there to deal with it.
Transit peace officers have increased by 25%, with more on the way. Security guards have been hired. Patrols are now 7 nights a week. And Alberta sheriffs were deployed to assist for a 3-month pilot project downtown.
There is no silver bullet on this. Officer presence makes a difference.
Former Calgary police officer and Minister of Public Safety Mike Ellis says Calgary needs more police on patrol.
I'm not saying you're putting cuffs on people, but officer presence so that people have the ability to feel safe. You have a right. You have a right not to be stabbed. You have a right not to consume secondhand crystal meth smoke, as an example. So ensuring that you have that officer presence will give a sense of security to people who are riding transit or in the community.
Did you happen to notice a big difference when the sheriffs were in town?
Well, there was presence, and then people started, the people that were addicted to these drugs or whatever, street people, they dissipated, but they're coming back. It's like an accordion. And I think if you had permanent presence, you don't have that.
We've seen the success of the sheriff program, throughout the spring. Is there any consideration to increasing the presence or bringing it back to Calgary?
So Calgary has indicated to me that they're still studying this. Their report is indicating it's an officer presence issue. We have officers. Let's engage them. Let's get them out there. Let's make sure our citizens feel safe. But I can tell you that the sheriff's program, at least the initial intel that I have had, has been quite successful, which is why Edmonton has continued to stay with the sheriff's program. I can tell you that we're on standby, and we're prepared to re-engage those sheriffs.
Sorry, you said it was an interesting project, an interesting pilot. What did you mean by that?
We've had some preliminary results from it, and it's tricky because the sheriffs are needed in other places too. And so when the Calgary Police Service said thank you for the pilot and had a conversation with sheriffs, they felt that it was important for sheriffs to be able to go and do the rest of their responsibilities in the province as well. So, when I say interesting, I mean it worked in a moment in time.
The mayor says while Transit's plan doesn't call for sheriffs, it does do more than enforce and protect. It helps.
And if we get people the supports that they need, they won't be in those positions of crisis and trauma. And that's ultimately our goal.
Arming passengers with the tools to seek help and the personnel to help guide them there is certainly on the right track. But tomorrow we'll show you why all of those efforts could be derailed if additional investments in non-transit areas aren't increased. At the 4th Street Station, Christina Howard, City News.